podcast for you today. All right, let's go.
Let's
All right,
go.
guys, we got Corbin Claypool, the Claypool Group, Vera Mortgage here in Fresno, California, serving the San Joaquin Valley. And there he is. And Greg
What's
Ryan,
up, everybody?
state team with a whole team here in Fresno, California, also serving the San Joaquin Valley. And guys, today's podcast, get your pen, get your paper, get your coffee or your drink, and get ready to take notes on something that's very important. It's a short podcast, but it's to the point. We're going to talk today, right, Corbin, on why it's so important and why we give 100% one-on-one, full service, sit down, go over the options in loans, go over the options in real estate, meet with our clients, even not pre-approved, go meet you at a home and show you properties, but meet you in person, go over all your options and build that relationship with that client so you know, like, and trust your agent, know, like, and trust your lender, and give you all the options. Guys, it's a lost art. You know what I mean? And we're going to share a couple stories today, and we want you to know that that's the service that me and Corbin provide. We give you that lost art of personal one-on-one or family service and take the time to meet with you. Why? You're worth it, and we're worth it to give it to you. The only way we would do it. We give you options on everything. Corbin, take it away, man. What do you got?
Yeah, no, I think, we know COVID came, right? 2020 or 2021. And a lot of us got in the habit, a lot of agents, a lot of lenders got in the habit of working from home. Things were coming easy. And so they started doing everything online, especially on the lending side. Everything, application, just throwing stuff in, and we stopped really getting to who's buying the house, right? What's their story? And that's something that I've found fulfilling because when we were just doing applications, it felt more like numbers, right? And you start kind of losing that touch with the customer and the client. And, adding that piece in, going back to the old school way within the last year, making sure that we're talking to the client, getting their story, understanding why they want to buy a house. It just makes the whole process more fulfilling. And I think, that connection with the clients makes the process easier too, right? Because then they're working with somebody that they truly trust rather than just an online Joe Schmo that's just going to try to lock them into the deal and do this. We can sit down with them and present the options to them, go over things with them, make sure they know what resources, what opportunities they have available to them, and not try to just push them into one loan, right? Hey, here's your pre-approval. Here's your loan. That's it. We can sit down and say, hey, you qualify for your FHA, your conventional, you have CalHFA options, you have platinum options, you have this. And so that's what's excited me and really kind of sparked my energy again in this business is bringing that back. I've noticed it's way more fulfilling and the clients love it.
Well, I have same information on my end. That's what I shared when I first started. That same thing with COVID. And we've always had that one-on-one. And we got a little bit away from it too. And I said, this isn't working. We've got to give people what they deserve. And we are carrying good-hearted agents and lenders, me and Corbin. So we needed to do that just so we feel good about it. And we wanted to get to know our clients on a family basis and a one-on-one basis and build that relationship. Because this is not just one transaction with a buyer or seller. This is multiple transactions. And they have to know, like, and trust the agent and the lender that they work with and have all their options laid out. Corbin, can you give us a short story on an example recently that helps you feel this way and know that it's the right thing to do?
Yeah, absolutely. So I had an awesome client that was referred to me by a team I work very closely with. Unfortunately for the agent, the client ended up going with a for sale by owner of the house that they were buying. But I had been working with this woman for months prior, and we had just been communicating via email, things of that nature, via phone call. And eventually we ended up getting together, going over everything. And just to kind of hear her story, it was very interesting. I won't get into the personal stuff, but she had moved from Nigeria to here. Her husband was still in Nigeria, who's in the process of moving here. They moved here with a couple of their kids. This woman proves that the American dream is still alive, brother. Okay. So she came, she's a nurse, works her butt off, got a house within, being here a few years. They owned a construction company back in Nigeria. So she plans on starting a construction business here. I have no doubt she'll be able to do that. And her husband's in the process of moving. Because they were legally married in Nigeria, we actually had to get a document signed from the husband. And it was quite the ordeal because the husband also didn't have a passport, and the embassy in Nigeria wanted him to have his passport. So he had to go get his passport first. Then he had to go and then go to, sign that interspousal essentially. And so if I didn't have this relationship with a client where we're close, like we talk and it's just like, it's fun. It's kind of like fun. It becomes a certain point where it's not just business. It's like, hey, how are you doing? How are your kids doing? Things of that nature. It wouldn't have been so smooth, like even though she had to wait, she knew that it was just part of the loan. And it was just really fulfilling, man, to see somebody like that who is working their ass off, trying to make it happen, and then does it, makes it happen, buys a house here and shows that the American dream is alive, So yeah. That's a story. And I have a lot of stories like that. Just had another, first time home buyer. I'll go through this one quick. The first time home buyer was very nervous about buying. It was a few months had gone by. They were looking, but they weren't quite ready. So we decided to do an in-person consultation with me and the agent. We went over everything in detail with them. We showed them the cost of waiting. We really able to break it down. Within 2 weeks, they went into escrow, and they just closed on their house last Friday, got their keys on Monday because they went out of town. Beyond stoked, beyond excited. And this just shows that it doesn't matter where you're at. You can buy a home potentially, right? And you just need to get with a professional who's going to give you that one-on-one service and walk you through how you could get there. Even if you don't qualify today, you can have a roadmap set up to where you can qualify in 3, 4, 6 months down the road. And at least you know what you're doing and what steps you have to take to get into a home in that next step.
And we have a couple of those we're working with right now. And, exactly. Because they're grateful that we met with them, took the time to show them the roadmap on the real estate and the loan side. They're eternally grateful, and they're wonderful to work with because that attitude of gratitude that we also give to them, right? So Let me share a story. Can I share a story now?
Yeah, please.
Look at this. So it's a house we have in Kermit. So we have on the market about 45 days, give or take. And it's a listing that I have for sale, seller. And it's a bigger home, and so it takes a little while in Kermit to sell those more expensive homes. And we opened houses. We did a lot of things to get it sold. And I get a call from the sign call. So I said, sure, I'll show you the property. Went out there, 25, 30-minute drive from our office here in Fresno by River Park. Went out there, met them. They weren't qualified. We always meet our clients, even if they're not qualified, to show them the home, because we want to build that relationship and let them know, hey, we're here for you. You don't have to be pre-approved to see homes with us, right? Not too many agents will do that. Very few, actually. We do that. And we find out their needs and what they're looking for, and we answer a lot of questions, and I take notes the whole time. And they said, okay, well, we'll let you know if we want the house. I filled all the information into them. A few days later, 2-3 days later, I follow up, how are we thinking about this? And Joel and Marie is their name. They go, you know what, we like the home. We want to put an offer, but we're not pre-approved. Can you help us? Absolutely. Okay. So we sent them over to the lender. The lender works with them. And so what happens is that lender was not Corbin. I made a mistake and sent him somewhere else. That lender gave them one option, cookie cutter, and ran them that way. And they're experienced in real estate, these buyers. So then the buyer decided to not go with the lender and to go with another lender. And then I gave them another name. They went over there. That lender, now this was quite a while back before I was working with Corbin, and this lender gave them about 8 different options, Corbin, like you would do, 8 options, laid them out, right? And gave them a great opportunity. They called me, said, thank you, Greg, for giving us this kind of service one-on-one. We weren't even approved, and got loan approved with the options that we were looking for. Thank you. And then I recently just had one with Corbin, met the buyer, not approved, met him out at the property, and they said, thank you for meeting us. People don't want to meet us because we're not pre-approved yet. We want to get pre-approved. We know, like you, and trust you. I sent him over to Corbin. Corbin's got him pre-approved, working on the last step of that, and now they're going to get into a property, right? Because Corbin also gives that one-on-one attention and the desire to want to help people. And that's what it takes nowadays. And that's what we want to do. So people, you're missing that one-on-one service that blankets all of your needs. Get in front of somebody, know, like, and trust them. That's us. That's all I have to say. People are grateful that we do that. And we're winning the market over, and clients realize that this is genuine. Corbin's office from my office is literally a mile apart.
Something like that. It's very
a mile or a mile and a half. Well, so anyways, those are some real true stories that me and Corbin just gave you. And we work together kind of like, you guys know how bread and butter goes together. Bread's always better with a little bit of butter on it. Well, that's us. We're like bread and butter. We're like potatoes and gravy. We're like steak with the A1, right? We're like salad with the Italian sauce on it. We are like pumpkin with the patch. So that's what we do. Well, Corbin, anything else you want to say?
No, man, I really appreciate you having me on again. And I would just encourage people to, even if you think you can't qualify, get with somebody who will sit down with you, talk you through things. Even if you necessarily can't sit down for an in-person because you're too busy, we can schedule a Zoom call. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that we can do this. Reach out to us and we'll be happy to help you and try to point you in the right direction. So thanks for having me on, Greg.
Well, Corbin, give up your information, your phone number and your website.
Yep. You can find me at 559-313-5819 is my cell phone. Website's veromortgage.com/Corbin. We actually have an awesome website that's being built called everythingaboutmortgage.com. That's going to be a spot for our clients that has everything about a mortgage, frequently asked questions, videos, home buyer kits, things of that nature that you'll be able to use as a resource that we're currently working on. That's going to be live in about 45 to 60 days. But as of right now, you can always call or pop over to my current website. All
right. That's great. Thank you for that heads up. And we're going to keep sending these great clients over to you after we meet them and do this 1-2 meetings. It's just working like great. People are grateful for us. My numbers, Greg writes, 559-260-1777, 559-260-1777, FresnoMaderoHomesearch.com. Look forward to helping you. We stand ready. You have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye now.